Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special customer spotlight for PracticePanther. I'm Colin Lee, Chief Growth Officer here at PracticePanther. And one thing that I noticed since coming to this org is we work with a ton of amazing customers and legal professionals each and every day. And there are just tons of lessons to be learned from them. And really, a lot of these insights are important to us, and we want to make sure we share them to the broader community. Today we have Kathleen Day-Seiter, or Cass as she likes to go by. Hi, Cass.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for being with us. So quick thing on Cass. She's been practicing law since 2006, and she currently runs her own firm in Alameda, California. Cass has really had an amazing career journey that we wanted to jump in and explore with her today. From being a social worker for over 20 years to living abroad in Germany to currently practicing elder law. And Cass has just had a ton of experience and learnings from the industry, and we just love spending time with her. And so, Cass, thanks again for joining us today. We're thrilled to have you on the show, and we're really excited to be sharing your story.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me. I have to say a big part of my practice right now has to do with the technology that is out there these days, and I could not do my practice without PracticePanther. When I think about how I did it before PracticePanther compared to now, I realize that there's no way I could be doing what I'm doing now, as much work and as many clients as I have now.
Well, that's just music to our ears, and we really appreciate the feedback. So you come from a very unique background, and you were a social worker before you started practicing law. And I wanted to just ask you how has being a social worker prepared you to become a lawyer, especially in the elder law space?
You know, that's a really good question. So I did my Master's of Social Welfare at UC Berkeley in the gerontology track. And at that time, they actually had a joint MSW JD program. And I thought, who would do that? Why would you do that? And of course, we had a law class in the program, and which was fascinating. So I got out of school. I had great jobs. I was in the Tenderloin in San Francisco, working with the low-income seniors and disabled individuals. And then I ended up doing medical social work in hospitals. And what I was doing a lot with the clients or the patients was I was talking to them about public benefits and how, a lot of it had to do with laws and how they would qualify and what they were going to have to do in order to apply for the benefits. But not only that, the different programs that are out there. And I found that I was going up to giving them information that was just bordering on that legal, the legal information, and I could only go so far. So one day I was walking down the hall at the hospital on the floor where I was working, and I looked into the room and I saw an elderly gentleman who I knew was dying, and his wife was sitting there next to him. And I knew that they had been married for 50 years. And my heart just dropped, and I thought, I don't know if I can do this the rest of my career. And that's when I thought, I'm going to make a change. Wow. And I was talking to a nurse there at the hospital, and she said, and I thought, maybe I'll do a PhD. And she said, have you ever thought of elder law? And I said, that's great. And I looked into it, and of course, and then I immediately just went in that direction, which has been a fantastic career. And what happens is that when I see my clients, I end up doing a lot of social work. With my clients, because I'm trying to look at the whole picture, not just the legal aspects, but the whole picture, like what is right for this individual person, what's right for the family, and how can I best use all of my knowledge and things that are out there for this person so that he or she can have a better life.
That's really inspiring, Cass. And it's, I think what strikes me about when we first started talking, and really a big reason why I wanted to bring you on the show is you lead your firm and your practice and your career with your heart, and that's very honorable and very rare, and it's certainly inspiring.
Thank you.
When you're starting off, and you run your own practice now, and tell me a little bit about starting your own firm. You've got the specialty in elder law and estate planning, which much of our audience does as well. What were some of the big challenges of starting your own firm?
Well, of course, the challenges are wanting to do everything right to begin with, and only having limited resources. Most of us start our own firm on a shoestring, and so we're trying to figure out how we can do as much as we can with as little as possible. So that's one. And also, when you start your own firm, you're looking for staff. Who can I find who's going to have the experience that's going to help me, while at the same time I don't have to pay them all of my annual income. And so, and there are a lot of things out there for technology these days. You want to do this thing is going to cost this much money, and this thing is going to cost that much, and it would be wonderful to have it all, but unfortunately, you can only make choices that are going to fit within your budget. So, as a solo, of course, we're all faced with that challenge. Can I find a good staffing, and can I find all of the resources that are going to help me do the job the best? So that's what I found.
Amazing. And tell me about the journey. Obviously, you're a customer of ours, so we're very grateful that we were able to find each other and kind of help you with that challenge of what do I do as a solo, as an entrepreneur for my own firm. How did you tell us your origin story of finding PracticePanther?
So I had a goal to be able to work remotely for at least 4 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Meaning I wanted to, so I lived in Europe and Germany for 6 years. I've lived on the East Coast, and our family travels a lot. We're oftentimes in Europe, and we're oftentimes here in the United States. So my goal was to be able to work remotely for 4 weeks out of the year. I didn't have to go on vacation. When I'm on vacation, I want to go on vacation, but I want to be able to work remotely.
Yeah.
So I knew that PracticePanther was going to be the way that I was going to get there. So for me, I want to be able to go someplace and have my whole office with me in my computer.
Yeah.
And PracticePanther allows me to do that. I have all of my notes, I have all of my emails, I have all of my files. Everything is there within PracticePanther with some other integrations. And it just works beautifully.
And I'm really great to hear that. And at what stage of founding your firm did you discover PracticePanther? Was it at the very beginning? Well, what was, did you go through some trial and error beforehand? And what kind of pushed you over the finish line?
Well, I had actually been with another firm prior to starting my own, going solo. And it was at that other firm where I had discovered PracticePanther after doing a lot of research and having, going through different testing with other practice management softwares. And it was PracticePanther that really stood out. And what I really loved about it is it's so easy. And for me, so intuitive. It's, it's just easy.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing that I really liked about it are the templates, the ability to do those templates. And though many of us do use drafting, programs, it's the templates, the drafting programs don't have all of the templates. You want a letter to the assessor's office or the recorder's office or to the beneficiaries or to a client. Those are not necessarily in the drafting programs. So these templates, I have, I can't tell you how many templates. And the coding to do the templates is so easy with PracticePanther. You just It's mechanical. You follow the step and you do your template or your letter, you put in your coding and boom, you upload it and it's like magic. I love it.
It's like magic.
Yeah.
Um, this, I mean, 2020 has been a really trying time and really a big, kind of, it's changed everything. Whether you're an attorney or just a man on the street. Um, how has your business been impacted by the pandemic? I know you mentioned one of the things that you were already well equipped to do with PracticePanther was to work remotely. But
right.
How has 2020 kind of changed the way like you run your business? How has
right
business,
right
how have you kind of reacted to that?
Right. Prior to the shutdown or, the shelter in place order here in California, I had two part-time employees. And of course, with Practice Panther, everything's integrated so we can all see each other's, all the files and whatnot.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I had to let them go. I had to, lay them off. And so I was alone for the most part, but I feel that Practice Panther is like having a full-time employee. For my annual fee, whatever it is, I have a full-time employee right there who is always ready to do the work that I need to have done. I don't have to pay any of the employment taxes. I don't have to take care of all of the other required notifications. So for me, Practice Panther is like my other employee.
Wow.
And it's just fantastic. And it doesn't matter how many employees you have. I think Practice Panther is like my number one employee. I can't do it without Practice Panther.
Well, we do appreciate the feedback. Um, you mentioned document templates and that that's certainly one of our favorite features here at PracticePanther. And in September we launched another pretty big feature that we're proud of, and you one that you used from talking earlier, and that's Panther Payments, and it's our all-in-one online payments functionality that's built right into PracticePanther. And I was just wanted to hear, like, how has Panther Payments worked for you?
Well, I find it to work. It's all in the background. I don't even have to think about it or know what they're doing. It just works beautifully. I send my statements to the clients, and they click on Pay Now, and they either do an electronic transfer or they pay by credit card, and boom, it's in my account, whether it's in my trust account or in my operating account. It's just so smooth, and I get a notification from Practice Panther that says you have a payment, and I love those notifications. Of course, they're great, and that my clients really appreciate it also. Of course, I accept checks, and some clients prefer that, but most of my clients are just so happy to have that Pay Now option at their disposal also.
I'm really glad you're getting kind of the value out of it. And one of the big trends this year is just, hey, like, with everyone remote, you can't go pay in person.
Right.
It's hard. Everyone's got these business offices everywhere, and you're sending checks. And it's just hard to, transmit payments from one party to another. And
right. And this makes it easy.
It just
really easy.
It just makes it easy. So I'm really glad that you've been able to find value out of it. Like, having made it through 2020, and I know you've had to downsize staff a little bit and still kind of be very resilient with PracticePanther, as well as yourself. What kind of habits are you looking at, or like, how are you thinking about 2021?
Well, I probably want to continue and refine what I've been doing. And for example, I'm pretty much a paperless firm, which means my files are very, very thin, and I just scan everything and it goes into my box, which is then into my PracticePanther files because of the integration. And I want to continue to do that, to go, to continue even be more paperless if possible. one of the things that has really helped me with the downsizing are the workflows. The workflows in PracticePanther are amazing, which I have the sense that a lot of people don't really understand how they work,
Yeah.
but it's really great when I have a client that says, yes, I want to work with you. I can do a workflow.
Yeah.
The workflow says, please send out engagement letters, send out any consents, send out the questionnaire, and boom, all of these notices get sent out. So when I have my drafts sent out to my clients, I do another workflow, set up an appointment to review the drafts, and it's just fantastic. So that workflow is really helpful, and it's helped me a lot this year to keep us on track with all of our different cases. So another thing that I have found that has really helped with you know, it would have helped before, but I really discovered a lot of it here in 2020. Particularly because of the COVID and the pandemic, which is within PracticePanther, you can, let's just say you have Joe Smith as a client and you want to talk to somebody else in your firm regarding Joe Smith. Rather than sending it in some other format, you can within PracticePanther just send somebody on maybe you're sending it to Sally. You go into Joe Smith's PracticePanther folder. You want to send a message over to Sally and you just send it within there and it's all kept in there. So all of your notes and all your communications within your firm are kept within PracticePanther. So it makes it really easy. So I don't have to go into an email and send something to somebody in the firm. It's just all within there. And the tasks are also really, really important. I mean, the tasks and the workflow are kind of, they work together, but if you just have a one-off task that you want to go in, it just makes it so that there you go, it's in there, and then everybody sees, oh, I have to do this, 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 and those are the things that have really helped me stay, keep going in the pandemic. And I just want to refine those things as I go, which I think we just always have to refine our practices no matter what.
Absolutely. You heard it here. Workflows and tasks, you can do so many different things with them. It's like having an extra helper. What's your thought on like whether remote work is going to be here to stay, or is it going to be are we going to go back to normal?
I hope it's here to stay because I want to go to Portugal. I have been to a lot of places in Europe, but I've never been to Portugal, and I want to go to that beach in Portugal.
Yes.
And I actually have a 95-year-old client who I've met her in person before the lockdown, but since then we talk by video, and she's fine with it.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't see why we couldn't continue.
I totally agree. Totally agree. Lastly, on the product side, I know you've had various experiences with PracticePanther, whether it's in like a larger firm or with your own solo practice. And, many people kind of use PracticePanther in so many different ways, especially new users, right? You find your habit, your workflow. What are some recommendations you have for someone who's in the market for starting, their own firm or looking to adopt a new practice management software, or just starting out with PracticePanther? What kind of tips do you have for them?
What I did, I'm kind of like, when I first got PracticePanther, what I would do is I would, go home, have my dinner, do whatever. As I settled down, I would actually go on the videos and the tutorials on PracticePanther, and I just learned so many little tricks that just made my life so much easier. And I was like, oh, wow, this is cool. It does this too. It does this too. I also highly recommend for people to have the subscription where you can have the unlimited support, because I find the support staff to be very helpful, and they always figure out how to solve my problem, and it's just so worth it to have that. I don't know how people do it without it, to be honest with you, because it's tech. There are going to be glitches that come through, and whether it's through an integration from somebody, another, or your computer, or from whatever, or our own, unfamiliarity with the program.
Just like closing out, any kind of parting thoughts, advice to attorneys out there on whether to like how to run their practice. Any, we have a lot of estate planning attorneys out there, both in our customer base and just like out there who are looking to, how should I think about my practice as I go into 2021? Any kind of last minute advice?
Oh gosh, I'm not sure that I can remember studying for the bar. Somebody said it's never good to predict the future, but so it's hard to know. But one thing that I can say is that when you do get a practice management software, it can be very overwhelming at first. Yeah. And what I tell people, just keep, just piece by piece, figure it out, each piece, and then you will be so happy. I think that I probably use a good 90 to 95% of what PracticePanther offers. And I've been told that some people only put the names and contact information and do nothing else in there. And so I think it's so worth it just to slowly build up that knowledge base about your practice management software. And even though it feels overwhelming, don't let that stop you, because once you figure it out, you realize how much time it saves you and how much more organized you are. And it's totally worth it to get over that, that learning curve. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. I mean, you heard it here. Put the time up front to get over that learning curve, and it's going to pay off in big dividends. And I couldn't thank you enough, Cass. I wanted, to just make a quick plug on your practice. Please visit Cass's website at Day-Seiterlaw.com. It's DAYSEITERLAW.com. Cass is just an amazing human being and an amazing attorney. We're really proud to have her as part of our PracticePanther family. Secondly, I think just having her practice with a full heart and like all that experience, it's an amazing just addition to the legal industry. So we're really excited to and grateful to have you, Cass. And when we're talking about PracticePanther, a lot of different things we want to bring our customers as value. And one of our, as a company, as an organization, one of the things that we bring, that we believe in, is our own values. And that's just, a people first mentality. We think about our customers first, our teammates first, and no one reflects that better than you. And
thank you. Thank you, Colin.
I think the world of you.
Thanks. Well, I just want to say that I have so many wonderful colleagues, estate planning attorneys, many different types of attorneys who really care so much about their clients. And that's why we're in this business, because we're not here to make a lot of money. We're here to actually serve our clients. And so I feel honored to be able to call many of my other attorneys colleagues.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
This is Cass, everybody. And once again, the website is DAYSEITER law.com. If you have any referrals, please bring them Cass's way. She's wonderful. She'll take care of any of your elder law needs and estate planning. And that's it for our show today. I want to thank our guest, and just make sure, like, if you're interested in learning more about PracticePanther and some of our new releases or some of our new product features, go to PracticePanther.com, and I'll talk to you next time.